Here's an example for us to follow. Receive your inheritance. The Lord has given us things to be in charge of. God has given us gifts, He's given us talents, He's given us treasure. There's all kinds of things that He has given us, and it is our inheritance. In fact, we're told in the Beatitudes that we will inherit the world. God's children, we have a ruling influence over this world, and we especially will have it in the new order, the new created order when Jesus returns and makes all things new. But I wonder, have you received your inheritance? Let's look at the tribes of Ephraim and Manasseh. Now, 16 and following is a list of all kinds of places describing the territory of Ephraim and Manasseh. We'll look at the map in just a moment. But you see, verse 4, we're told that the people of Joseph, remember Manasseh and Ephraim, those two sons, those were two sons of Joseph. So while there were 12 sons of Jacob, Joseph actually becomes two individual tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim. And we're told in verse 4 that they received their inheritance. They took what the Lord gave them. So if we come up here, the great description of the of where they lived at. Here it is. We see West Manasseh right over here. You'll see that's kind of midsection of the place of Israel. So West Manasseh, East Manasseh. We've already talked about that. So that is their territory. Then you see Ephraim is right here. Toward the south of Manasseh. So you see that they are close together. So that is the territory that they have. Some popular places, Megiddo is a place that belongs to Manasseh, and no other famous ones here. Bethel is actually in Dan. So Sukkah belongs to Manasseh as well. So encourage you to back your Bibles, look at those maps and see how the tribes of Israel are divided out. And we roll down here to the bottom of our reading today. Again, this is all the explanation of the territory that Manasseh and Ephraim would have. Verse 10 tells us, though, however, they did not drive out the Canaanites who lived in Gezer. So the Canaanites have lived in the midst of Ephraim to this day, but have been made to do forced labor. Just two observations, real quick, especially as we interact with the ethical concerns of the conquest of the land of Canaan for the Israelites. The first thing is that we see clearly they did not drive out and kill all of the Canaanites that lived there. In fact, it was going to be a progressive way that that would happen. And I did make an argument, I think anyway, that God was offering forgiveness to whoever would come. We see that with the example of Rahab the prostitute in Jericho. That's the first battle, all the details there of God showing grace to somebody in Jericho that sided with the Israelites. Number 2, you have the Gibeonites who came and offered peace. They did it deceptively, but yet again, there was a treaty that was made between them. And it does seem, or we see it quite clearly, that there were other Canaanites that were there as well. They were made to do forced labor like the Gibeonites did. And it's very possible that some of these battles where the Canaanites became servants of the people of Manasseh and Ephraim, that happened perhaps in some of the battles that are mentioned in Judges. We'll mention that when we get to that reading. Second observation is I wonder, oh, excuse me, I wonder if this is, I wonder if this problem here is the Israelites being disobedient. Is it that they refused to do what the Lord told them to do, or is this just a descriptive element in saying the Israelites were not able at this point yet to drive out all the Canaanites, but then they did make them to do forced labor later on? Remember, this whole section begins with God telling Joshua, "You are getting old, but let's go ahead and distribute the land out to all the tribes, and they will take it as the time allows." So perhaps reflect on that. But either way, the Lord has given you an inheritance. He's given you things to be in charge of. How are you being a good steward of what the Lord has given you? I pray that's been a blessing to you. I'll see you in the next video.